You know, the internet that we all grew up with, that completely open, kind of borderless world, well, it's disappearing. We're literally watching this dream of a connected planet give way to a new reality of digital walls. And we really need to understand how we got here. So, let's go back to 1996. This quote, it really captured this revolutionary idea. The internet wasn't just a bunch of computers, it was this new frontier. A global space that was supposed to be totally separate from the physical world and all its old-school rules. The vision was a single, unified cyberspace for everyone, everywhere. And you know what? For a little while there, it really felt real. Data just flowed freely all over the globe. Information was everywhere. The internet was literally erasing borders, connecting all of us in this one, massive, ongoing conversation. It felt like a whole new reality was being built.
But yeah, that utopian vision has pretty much shattered. Today, the idea of a single borderless internet is, for all intents and purposes, dead. So what happened? What killed it? Well, it all comes down to one word: sovereignty.
This is really where the conflict started. Nations all around the world kind of woke up and realized that controlling data and the digital pipes that it all flows through was a massive deal. We're talking strategic, economic, and national security. The digital world wasn't some separate reality after all. It was just a new battlefield for power.
And this led to the rise of this incredibly powerful concept, digital sovereignty. It's a world-changing idea, but the premise is actually pretty simple. It says that a country should be able to enforce its own rules on its own slice of the internet, just like it does within its own physical borders.
And wow, did this idea accelerate. It went from a concept to actual law and policy at lightning speed. You had the Snowden revelations in 2013, which has completely shattered global trust. Then, bam, in 2018, the EU's GDPR and the US's Cloud Act put them on a direct collision course over who really controls our data. And by 2021, China had cemented its own vision of total state control. The digital walls were going up fast.
So all this rapid-fire policymaking didn't lead to one set of rules for everybody. Nope. Instead, we got three distinct, competing philosophies for how the internet should be run, each one championed by one of the world's major digital powers.
And this chart breaks it down perfectly. You have three totally different visions for the internet's future. China's model, it's all about state control and security. The US model is focused on extending its legal reach wherever its tech companies operate. And then you have the EU, which is trying to set global standards through regulation, putting individual rights right at the center of it all.
This clash has pushed digital border control to a whole new level. It's not just enough anymore to store data inside a specific country. Now there's this new idea that the data has to be held by local companies to shield it from foreign laws like the US Cloud Act. And if you've been following the whole debate around TikTok, you've seen this exact issue playing out on a massive global stage.
I mean, these philosophies couldn't be more different. China is basically building a digital Berlin Wall to keep its data in and foreign influence out. The US is pushing for an extraterritorial reach, trying to access data no matter where its companies are. And the EU is creating what they call a sovereignty sandwich, trying to balance individual rights, market rules, and security. These are three fundamentally incompatible futures for the internet.
So you've got these digital nations clashing. What does that mean for the businesses and organizations that are caught right in the middle? Well, it means a ton of uncertainty, a ton of risk, and a very, very high cost.
Because of this whole mess, a full 60% of business leaders are now just pouring more and more money into cybersecurity. Think about that. This isn't just some IT problem anymore. It's a top-level strategic priority, right up there with things like trade policy and supply chains.
But here's the really scary part. Despite spending all that money, only 6%, just 6%, of executives feel fully confident that they can actually withstand the kinds of sophisticated, often state-backed cyber attacks that are becoming the new normal. There is a huge gap between seeing the risk and being ready for it.
And this right here really shows the problem. The data shows that 67% of companies are stuck in reactive mode. They're spending their money after an attack on things like fines and recovery. Only 24% are doing what they should be, investing in proactive defenses. Basically, most companies are waiting to get hit instead of building a better shield.
And listen, this is not just a problem for governments and big corporations. This is fundamentally reshaping the internet for every single one of us. So, welcome to the age of the Splinternet.
So what in the world is the Splinternet? Well, it's basically what happens when that single global internet fractures into a bunch of different pieces. Instead of one network for everybody, we're getting a collection of national and regional internets, and each one has its own conflicting rules. That seamless experience we all took for granted, it's being replaced by this confusing, messy patchwork of digital borders.
For you and me, this means the internet can literally change the moment we cross a border. An app that works perfectly in one country might be totally blocked in another. Your data is suddenly subject to a completely different set of laws. In all this friction, it slows down the global collaboration that powers everything from science to business. And ultimately, it just means less choice and less connection for all of us.
Which really leaves us with the fundamental question of this new digital age we're living in. As we build all these digital walls in the name of security and sovereignty, are we accidentally losing that global connection that made the internet so powerful to begin with? And is it even possible to have both?